A black woman who moved from the U.S. to Russia to escape discrimination and racism revealed on social media that the entire plan backfired on her in a disturbing way. Francine Villa was born in Russia but moved to the U.S. with her family when she was a kid. In a heartbreaking video, Francine claims that both she and her baby were brutally attacked by racist neighbors in Moscow. She detailed the alleged assault on Instagram. Now, the fact that the attack occurred in her homeland is an extra painful blow. Villa had previously spoken about her move in the 2020 documentary Back in the USSR, which aired on the Russian state media channel RT. Villa said that her great-grandfather George Tynes, who hails from Virginia, worked as an agriculturalist after moving to the Soviet Union in the 1930s. Now, much of her family still lives there, but at a young age, she moved with her mother to the United States. It was there that she spent most of her life until experiencing what she described as a traumatizing experience with police. Villa explained in the documentary that she'd approached officers for help during an emergency, but that they turned on her instead, throwing her to the ground. It was then that she decided it was time to leave. That was back in 2019. Here is how she explained it. Quote, "Why did I make up my mind to move to Russia? I wanted to leave a country where I was facing discrimination. After a year living in Moscow, she told RT, quote, I feel free living in Russia because in Russia, no matter what time it is, I can walk outside and I'm safe." 5 years later, that proved to be a fantasy. Following the alleged attack, Villa took to Instagram with blood still on her face, saying a couple in her apartment building beat her with fists while she was with her 2-year-old and yelled racial slurs at her in Russian. In edited footage shared by Villa of the incident, the couple can be seen arguing with her in the hallway of her building, threatening to throw out her belongings while she was seemingly blocked from entering her own apartment.
Вы в России давно живете?
У вас прописка есть здесь?
Дай мне войти в мою квартиру.
Прописка есть?
Почему вы ко мне на «ты»?
Я не могу выйти и входить в свою квартиру. Напугает моего ребенка.
Кого? Он пуганный плачет, бедняжка. Да, зайка, ты плачешь, да? Плачешь, зайка?
Now, she accuses her neighbors of changing the locks, cutting off the electricity, and even tossing her baby's stroller down the stairs. She also claims her child was left with bruises following the incident. In footage taken from a hospital, Villa can be seen weeping in distress in the aftermath of this alleged attack. She says she's filed complaints to the police but claims they aren't helping or responding.
Wow. See, that's why, Eve, they can't do the things Jake, the Israelite man in general, Salakia. Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. This is the brother Tajiar Gabar. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations down to the hopeful elect. Scatter abroad, pushing out this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. As you can see, Eve, the Israelite woman, they're losing. And this was, I think, 4 months ago. I'm going to get the scriptures real quick. I want to open up with Job 39:17. It's the book of Job 39, verse 17. Because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. Now, her moving from the U.S. all the way to Russia obviously is going backwards. But the part that proves that these women don't have wisdom or understanding, before you move anywhere, you got to look into, research it, the country, how it is, which is not hard to do because you got the whole YouTube passport bro thing where literally Jake is just moving anywhere and their experiences is recorded via YouTube. That's why when all these women, they try to do what I'm speaking of the Israelite man, because it's a lot of Israelite men, primarily Judah, that said the same thing. They fed up with the U.S. and they moved to these different countries. That's why when these women try to do that, it don't go their way. Look at what happened to that one Judite woman that went to Dubai, and she was acting a fool. I forgot what she did. She was acting up over there with that westernized mentality and way of living, and got imprisoned. I think she spoke to one of the men out there in a disrespectful manner, or was twerking. She did some ratchet shit, but going into this woman here, who's obviously a Judite woman, she didn't know what she was doing, man, which backs up Job 39:17. Those Edomites over there in Russia are far more worse, just as bad, if not worse, than the Edomites here in America. All right? Not doing research before moving out there. Is an ultimate bad move in itself. So you're gonna go from the U.S., where you're getting discriminated, obviously, is by who? So-called white man, maybe a few other sprinklets of the other nations. And you're gonna move to an even more racist country, Russia? You might as well move to Ukraine next, which is just as bad. I remember all she got to do is do her research, but as it says here, Job 39:17. All right, so I was thinking back about the time where it was this Israelite soldier from the tribe of Judah. America had shipped them off to go help them Ukrainians, because they was getting jacked up by them Edomite Russians, and he over here helping, and he was willing to go too. It was a stupid Jake. He was willing to go, clearly happy, and they ended up mistreating him. The Ukraine, which is more Edomite. So, man, let me get Isaiah 13:12. Isaiah 13:12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. And who is that man applying to? It's talking about the Israelite man. Primarily, the Israelite man from the prophets of the Lord, the elect Israelite man. Lord willing, we are those guys. In the times that we are coming into Jacob's trouble, which, as you've seen, the woman, her face was all swollen and busted lip. She got jumped by an Edomite couple in Russia and getting called all type of racial slurs. And this time, these women, they aren't going to have that hedge of protection. They're going to be in trouble. And the only hedge of protection they're going to get from the Lord on down to the men that he's dealing with. All right. And that's going to be their light. Because as you can see, these women, they don't have that light, man. A lot of these women, not speaking about, sincere woman that's seeking the knowledge and probably praying for her husband, because they're walking in the right path. I'm talking about the majority of these women that's out in the world that's, got all the luxury to do this and do that. These bird brain women, like this woman in this video, they don't have that light. And these days that we are in, they are going to be desperately seeking for protection. This woman that flew all the way across the world to flee from discrimination in an even more racist country, and got what? Discriminated and then some. Plus some racial slurs in their language. All right? How much more now in the times that we're coming into, where the Lord is just going to allow all dangers and all hell, everything unleashed. Ain't going to be no fleeing. You either going to get accepted by a man of the Lord or not. And if you don't, that's your ass. All right? So that man is going to be more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay? She said, it's lucky for my slurring. Malachi. Okay. Isaiah, which the brother Atayagalov going into this scripture right here. This is Isaiah 3:25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, going into their husbands, going to war, and their boyfriends or whatever, getting drafted to go to the war. They're going to die. Verse 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn. As this woman right here. See if I can find her face. Prime example. Her face gonna be looking just like this, sitting up on the ground, crying and mourning. From what? The lack of food, the lack of bread, getting trotted down by all type of desperate men that's trying to take a hold of them. All right? Then probably fell on her face trying to run from a guy that's trying to, what's that word? Seize her. Fell on her face. She escaped. Now she's sitting on the ground like this. Just using an example, all right? My use is at the thumbnail. She's... But stop. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. The scriptures hit home run, and this is going to be a soon reality. These women, they don't make the best decisions. They don't. And what that's going to lead to this. Isaiah 4:1, which brothers are speaking heavily on this. This is Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So they're going to take hold. They're going to be so desperate. And all right, I saw a brother post this. I wanted to do a quick lesson on it. These women, they're going out sad, man. Okay. Very, very foolish of her to
saying a couple in her apartment building beat her with fists while she was with her 2-year-old and yelled racial slurs at her in Russian.
I'll destroy you, black ass, they said. And that's the mind state of Jake. They wanna get so close to Esau so bad. She probably thought leaving one country of Edomites that, you know how they treat us out here, to go to another, she probably thought they were nice. And that's that never trust thy enemy. Never trust thy enemy. These Edomites hate us. They are our enemies for a reason. But they don't know that.
In edited footage shared by Villa of the incident, the couple can be seen arguing with her in the hallway of her building, threatening to throw out her belongings.
With her 2-year-old. So times are getting crazy out here. All right. Lord willing, this was just quick, straight to the point. Edifying lesson. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Kakwadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Okay, I'm going to say Shalom.